Interesting title captured my attention. Why Asmongold stopped playing WoW. I'm curious to see how much overlap there is between his reasoning and mine. And the fact that it's featuring the best WoW mage, my prediction is that it has something to do with the high level of skill and commitment required to consistently be good at the game means you kind of don't have time to play anything else. And if he has any interest in being a variety gamer the way I do, that could be part of the reason. But let's hear what he has to say.
My relationship with WoW is complicated.
I think everybody's
and
is.
a lot of you guys probably think that I think the game is shit, that the developers are awful, that like they just need to do X, Y, and Z and then I'll play again. But that's actually not the reason.
Okay, why?
The reason I'm really liking not playing WoW is kind of weird. It's because I like not playing competitively. For once, it's really nice to just turn the stream on and drink some coffee and chat with you guys and like not have to...
that's why New World's so good. That's why I like playing New World. That's the good thing about it, is that I don't play, like, I'm just running around. Like, there's nothing going on. There's never a point where I can lose. There are no lose conditions in New World outside of deciding to play the game. That's it. So you're playing the game, you're chilling, you're just walking around. We're talking about chat, we're talking about life, you know, it's some other shit. There's not a whole lot going on. And I think that's the most valuable thing about it. And so Zaryu is learning, because the thing with Zaryu is that Zaryu for years and years and years has been one of the rank 1 mages. He's one of the best mages.
So it comes down to the appeal of being able to just chill out and enjoy a video game. Because when video games became prevalent, that's all they were for. There was never this sense of, oh, I need to be the best, or I need to be at a level where I garner the respect I need to play the game at a level where I enjoy it. And if you don't sink in this insane commitment, it's what Arthur said when he was talking about, you know, how WoW players are so divided because WoW instills this notion that you can't play anything else. You need to be playing our game or you fall behind, or you're not considered hardcore enough, or you're a filthy casual. The list goes on in terms of the opinions of, you know, hardcore WoW Andes. I don't think that's how games should be. They should offer a exit strategy. They should offer flexibility in your lifestyle, whether it's wanting to play another game or just wanting to do another activity in general.
Mages. You got him, Zico, Venruki, and a couple of other guys, and those are like the mages. So whenever people go to his channel, whenever people want to watch him, they're watching him expecting that kind of content. So I can really empathize here, because I can only imagine how much of a relief it would be for Zaryu to move over. Yeah, Mitch. Well, Mitch hasn't played for a long time, but like, yeah, definitely Mitch. Anyway, so it's not a game then. Yeah, it's like you log in, you always have to do the same thing. People expect a certain thing from you, and being able to break out of that mold, especially the way Zaryu has with New World. New World has been a huge success for Zaryu. He's very good at the game, and he does PvP there too, but it's not as sweaty, it's not as high skill, it's just more relaxed and more casual.
Hearing that makes me want to get it, not because I'm going to fall in love with the game, but because it'll help me stay on top of what Amazon is doing in the gaming universe. And it's a one-time payment, no subscription, which is something that was kind of lost on me. You tend to assume that all MMOs come with a subscription. I guess the model is designed such that they're going to release a bunch of content and they can afford to take losses on an otherwise proven model that World of Warcraft employs, because they have the Amazon pockets in the background. Amazon Game Studios itself is obviously a small subsidiary in the big picture, but nevertheless, they have that background support that would keep the entity afloat.
And I think that it makes sense that he would enjoy that more and just be able to hang out with the viewers, right? So yeah, that's a great thing.
Try so fucking hard all the time.
It's an expectation or a chore, yeah.
And in WoW, it's hard for me to not try.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard for me to not...
That's actually why I quit Black Desert the first time I played it, is that I got up to like level 54, it's 55, right? My guild, I was in a guild called Gravity, and this guild was like really serious. They were super sweaty. Like I went from being like the best person in my old guild to being like average at best in my new guild, right? This is a big dick guild. And 55 soft cap, bro. Yeah. Well, I got there and then it was like a lot harder afterwards. So I was in there, and I had joined because I had a friend of mine, Bogey, got me into the guild. And I was like, this is really, really fun. But they wanted me to be on for like siege practice. They wanted me to be on for sieges as well. And like I had to do a bunch of different things playing the game. And it was just exhausting to do that and also stream and play WoW too. And I felt like I had too many obligations. And so instead of just taking a step back and like not playing BDO as seriously, I quit the game, man.
It's the overarching theme. Games need to respect your time, and games need to be fun. For some people, the hardcore elements are fun, but it's also limiting the potential for anything else. If that's what you're into, fine. You can't really criticize people who want to make a living off of creating content to want to diversify themselves and how they spend their time.
Because it's like, if I'm not ready to go big dick, I don't want to go dick at all. So I can understand the way he feels, because that's exactly what happened to me with Black Desert. Is I went really hard on it, and then whenever that kind of faded away, big dick or no dick, there it is. I stopped.
Go all out and like really try. Whereas in like New World, I find myself just dicking around. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I dick around
and
all the time.
That's nothing to do with the game. Like I can't. That's something to do with me. You know? Yeah. It's like one of those breakup things where it's like, no, it's not you, it's me. That's kind of why I don't want to play WoW. Like, so it has nothing to do with the game. I actually like.
Someone in his chat said it's age too. I'm reading that right there, which is true. Like you get older and like it's like after you've already proven yourself 50 times. Like the first time that like a young dude, right? Have you guys ever been in a situation and you're like, let's say fucking ages like 14 to like 25, right?
And when he talks about those ages, and even younger for me, so when I started playing Vanilla WoW when it first released, it was the most amazing thing ever. I was also grounded, not in a punishment sense. I had a parent that cared about my well-being and would limit my time in how I played. Now, I was always willing to conform to the rules because I enjoyed what I was doing so much that I was willing to keep favor in order to maintain this privilege. My sibling could not handle these impositions of having to live a normal life in addition to the life that he cared only about, arguably, in the world of Warcraft. It led to serious arguments, fights, needlessly, and he was letting everything fall by the wayside, especially school. It became toxic. It became a poison. And so it's not like I get to have it while he doesn't. No, it's just over for both of us. It was taken away probably a couple months after the release of TBC, a few months maybe at best. And then I didn't get to enjoy the game for a really long time after that, until Classic came back around, basically. I jumped into Shadowlands for a while, and I thought, this game has really changed, and I didn't know how to take it. What I found is that I would be confronted with people who had expectations of me and wanted to educate me on how I should be playing the game instead of just allowing me to enjoy the game that I wanted. It wasn't just them. It was the consensus of the player base on how the game needs to be played. Otherwise, you're a casual, you don't have any sense of what the game is about, whatever. And it just led to me feeling negative each time I wanted to log on. It was an experience that made me feel like, why am I going on in the first place? All I'm doing is feeling that anxiety in the back of my mind that says, if you're not good enough, you need to invest more time and research and effort. I didn't want to become a WoW streamer. I wanted to be a streamer who enjoyed a game that I knew I enjoyed in my childhood that clearly had lost its way over the years. It's just not what it was.
And you had that moment to prove yourself and just put yourself out there, put your dick on the table, slap that big, fat, meaty fucking dick on the table and say, listen, bitch, this is how it's going to be. And you show off to everybody that you are really fucking good at something. And you prove it, and that means something to you.
I never got the chance.
Maybe what you're good at is playing a video game. Even though maybe what you're good at is being good at playing an instrument in band or something like that. But you have that thing that you're really, really good at, and being able to prove yourself, because you spend all the time thinking about proving yourself to the world. But what really I think a lot of the times people are doing in terms of proving themselves is they're proving themselves to themselves. They're like, I can do this. I can compete on this greater level, and I'm more than just like a loser. right? You're proving it for yourself, but you're in the mindset of thinking that you're trying to show it to everybody else. But mainly you're doing it for yourself. I think so, with a lot of people. Not everybody, but for me, I think to an extent, and also for other people to an extent. It's a matter of a spectrum, of course. So whenever you've done that, you've proven yourself. Like for me, right? I've proven myself in WoW over and over and over and over and over and over and over, right?
He sure
I used to make
has.
the best video achievement guides, and I will stand by that. If you go back and you watch my achievement guides and you watch the things that I tell people to do, I was so far ahead of everybody else who was playing the game then, making guides then. I had way more achievement points.
I'm not saying that he has no life. I'm saying that, and I'm not saying that he's necessarily fortunate either, but I do feel that he was in a fortunate position to have the freedom to do that and not come under so much grief for wanting to do something that he enjoyed. Different life circumstances lead to people not being able to enjoy this game, which I think is a larger group of people who played WoW weren't able to enjoy the game to the level that people like Asmongold could, which obviously led to, as soon as there's an acquisition for a company that clearly cares about profit, i.e. Activision getting involved, they want to cater to the largest audience possible. So they start making the game more towards casually based players. And a lot of the things that made the game great began to falter.
Way more accomplishments than anybody else, and there was no other content creator that was even remotely close. So I went over and I streamed, I did the same stuff. I had rank 1 log after rank 1 log after rank 1 log. And I had so many of these, I was really, really good at it. And after you do that and you taste that success a number of times, it doesn't taste as good. It doesn't feel the same because you've already...
And they altered the game to make it easier to diminish the value of those achievements also.
Had it before. You already proven that to yourself before, and you've gained the self-esteem that gives you, and you don't have to get it again because you already have it. You guys see what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? All other content creators are PvP? Yeah, there were only a handful that were PvE. First time you get glad or rank 1 is amazing, second time's great, third time's whatever, you already showed what you can do. Yeah, there's a lot of things, like rank 1 parses, everything like that. For fucking sure. Same thing goes for sub counts. Yeah. It's like once somebody reaches... It's like with stream, it's a little bit different because it's like an ongoing thing and it's your job, so it's kind of different. But yeah, like after I hit 100k viewers, after I hit 200k viewers, after I hit, like 30k, 40k subs,
you become desensitized.
It became a little bit less important for me to do that again. Like now, if I hit 100k viewers on a stream, I'm like, cool, that's great. But it's not something that I'm going to lay in bed and think about that day about how special it was. It's already happened. It's diminishing return. Yeah, right. It's happened dozens, probably maybe even hundreds of times. I don't know. Probably not. I probably haven't had 100k viewer streams, but I've had a lot.
Game, like I'm not going to sit here and say WoW's shitty. I actually like it. I don't trust myself to take it casually. And even if I tried, I wouldn't be having fun. I would be more frustrated because I know I could be better. And that's what makes me want to try harder. It's like a vicious cycle. It's like, for me to just play a game like fucking Icarus with Zika is like, it's just
this guy's speaking to my heart.
And New World. Oh, and here's and to piggyback on that, it's age. Yeah, I mean, really, I'm turning 29 next year. So that's probably why. Yeah. But to piggyback on that,
turning 30.
I really like streaming in the mornings. I'm really liking this new stream schedule. I really like streaming from like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
See, he gets it, man. That's what I do too. And it's like Nick does the same thing. Is like we stream in the morning and you end your stream and you've still got the whole rest of the day. You got the whole rest of the day. You do whatever the fuck you want. So it's like, did you really stream? No, it's great. And you can keep going longer if you want to.
It's really good for me. I think it's really good for like Shannon and I. It's good for me to just wake up and hit a morning workout and be live by 9. I feel good. But on WoW, if I log into WoW at 9 a.m., what the fuck are you supposed to do on WoW at 9 a.m.? The queues don't start on WoW for like Arena till the evening. Yeah. So if I played WoW, I would probably quit Arena. I would just do other shit. But like, I don't want like that alone just sounds awful. So like, I'd rather just move on.
Yeah, fuck that.
But once again, I don't know. I'm not like
that.
saying I'm never gonna play WoW again. I'm letting you guys know where my headspace is at. When people ask like, why aren't you playing WoW? Like,
that's the reason.
That's kind of why. It's nothing to do with the game. It's nothing to do with that I think it's terrible. It's nothing to do with the developers, although I do think they could do better. We all can. It's more.
Well, it's obvious that Zaryu has been trying to transition over towards doing more lifestyle content now for about a year or so, maybe a little bit longer than that. You know, he does fitness videos. He posts about that a lot on Twitter. And I think it's something that a lot of content creators, like you saw Bajira, who's transitioned out of just doing WoW as well. Zaryu's following suit, doing that too. And I think that's always a noble pursuit. It's hard to do, especially with World of Warcraft, because you have so many people that play the game who are WoW players. These are not gamers. These are not people that play video games. These are WoW players.
Right.
So if you're not playing WoW, you don't exist to them. They that's all they do. They live in that world,
and the idea of playing a different game is a huge turnoff for them. They don't want anything to do with that. It's like, why would I do that when I've invested all my time here? Honestly, that screams addiction. To each their own.
And that's all there is to it.
To do with like me and is where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the second part is the schedule. I like streaming in the mornings, and yeah, to think about playing WoW and not doing Arena is like, yeah,
you play the game that way forever. That's
I hope
all
that makes
you're gonna
sense.
Think about it.
I think the thing is, I'm like a 15-time rank 1 or 14 or 16 or something. I've gotten rank 1 a lot, so if I play the game casually, it's just not the same. You know what I mean? Like it's just not the same, because I'm like, I know I can do better. I know, like, if I take this serious, like I can be really good, and it's just like, I'd rather just fucking dick around, bro. Like,
just say fuck it, dude.
Your standards is top 1 at least for yourself? No, top 1. My standard is top 0.01. You know what I mean, Riley? I think top 1. I mean, that top 2% is duelist. You know, top 0.5 is glad. Top 0.1% is rank 1.
Yeah, you want to be the best.
I would want to be like the best, you know, and that's hard. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the future,
to do, man.
But I'm just letting you guys know where I'm at, like mentally, like headspace wise. You think you'd get that competitive if they brought arenas to New World? Man, that's such a great follow-up question, because like, so I get the question a lot, like, bro, I'm so excited for arenas to New World, and
I hope
part
they
of me
those.
is fucking excited as well.
Yeah.
But the other part of me is like, shit.
Now you've got to go hard on that too.
You know?
And it's going to alter your schedule yet again, because the people who you want to compete with the majority of the time have to keep up a normal lifestyle. It's not always going to be a streamer that you're competing against for the 1 and 2 spot. There goes the 9 to 5 notion. Whereas right now, you're in a single player casual setting that permits you to live around your schedule the way you like.
If arenas are in New World, would that competitive itch just like fucking go off and wanting to play like tournaments with
Probably.
it, and, like, would it ruin my fucking game of casualness? You know what I mean? It'll be the same fucking cycle all over again. Exactly. So
because you want to be competitive, and this is the case with a lot of people that are like hyper competitive with anything, right? Is that anything that they want to devote themselves to, they want to be able to put enough time into it to where they are just completely ready to play.
I put in an obsessive amount of time into Overwatch. I put an obsessive amount of time into Counter-Strike. I had to stop because I just felt I can't be the best unless it's all I do. And I'm no longer having fun because I know I'm getting older. I know that I don't have the same capabilities as a younger person who has the time to dedicate and has the willingness to dedicate. It's just not what I want to do. And from a streaming standpoint, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a particular category or into a particular game, because then people are only watching for that reason. And I'd rather people get to know my personality and who I am.
They are completely ready to pop off. And if you're not playing at that level, it's not as rewarding and it's not as fun to do. It's hard to get out of that mindset. It really is. It's not healthy. No, I don't think it's healthy at all, but it is what it is.
Part of me is like, you know what? I'm fine without arenas. I'm fine with doing wars and world PvP and duels, you know, and playing other games. And man, if it gets like sweaty, like, I don't know, man, you know? Although I would love it. You know, I'm not saying I wouldn't love it. I would fucking love it. I'm just saying, like,
the way I handled it, and this is what happened with me with like not raiding seriously anymore, or not really playing WoW seriously anymore. In general, I'm not like the top person for achievements right now, and I'm not the top person for mounts or anything like that right now. The way that I cope with that and the way that I deal with it is that I can just be the old dad wearing his varsity football, his varsity football Letterman jacket.
Won the championship back in '86. Check out the ring.
And pulling out the VHS tapes and saying, look here, kids, like, this is whenever I threw the pass and I won state. I'm totally fucking fine with doing that because I've had my time in the sun. It was a long time, and it was great, and I don't always need to be there.
Sure.
That's okay. And also another reason why I feel okay about not doing it now is that I know that at any time I could come back and do it again. It's like the decision is in my hands. It's not like, oh, I lost it, I can't do it anymore. Like, nah, bro, I could come back and be just as serious as I used to be. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not, absolutely.
For me personally, it's like, man, is it going to ruin the fucking...
Yeah, to know that you have control over it.
Escape from arenas.
I think that's the big thing to me.
That's basically it. But I think overall I would still want it, but I just...
Y'all are capping that, but I think that's funny. Like, you guys are capping it. That's so funny to me. Like, if there's anybody that genuinely believes that I would not be able to get back onto the leaderboard so fucking fast, you are crazy. Like, I am hyper efficient. I used to make videos about efficiency. Part of my degree in college was about efficiency and time management. It's what I fucking do. There is a 0% chance that I would not be massively successful because I did it multiple times. I was number one basically in Mists of Pandaria. Oh, in Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria.
Honestly, this is why I put myself over top of this chat, because it's so annoying the way they just constantly spam cap at this guy. Like, y'all are just attention seekers.
A little bit in WoD, but not really. And in Legion, too. Yeah, people don't remember me pushing high shit in like Legion and Mists of Pandaria and shit. Yeah, I just 10 years ago. Yeah, it's getting close, man. Cataclysm, it was 10 years ago. You're right. It's scary, but there it is.
I do think you're right on where it would lead. If they had non-ranked arenas, it'd be sick. Yeah, if it was just like skirmishes for like dick around, you get like a cache to get some gear, like that'd be vibing.
That'd be cool.
But once or yeah, like wager arenas, wager arenas would be really fun. But once there's like a ladder and a ranking system in tournaments, I think I get a bit too competitive. It's been a minute since I found a new game and didn't think, oh, let me try to compete in this. The casual side of things is so much more healthy, man. Here's the thing. I don't want to put any type of hierarchy on this.
You just play the game the way you want.
If anyone here is trying to become a professional gamer, that's fucking awesome. Like, I'm not saying don't do that. That's dope. In fact, when I was like 18, that is all I wanted to do.
Me too.
I was playing WoW like 10 hours a day, trying to like compete and play in tournaments, and that was my fucking life, and I loved it. And when
that's the same as I felt too, man.
I tried to join an Overwatch team. I had a coach. I was on a squad. I just quickly realized to what end I'm having to dedicate all this time and effort, and if I don't measure up, then why am I spending all these hours? If I lose that one time, then I'm cut from the team, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, granted, I never was able to achieve the level that these guys achieved, but that's just because I came from different circumstances. There were things that were imposed on me that were deemed to be morally superior, and gaming has no value. This is the kind of rhetoric that I've had to deal with. Could I have done it if I'd been more dedicated? Probably at the expense of good familial relationships.
Like, I would wake up in the morning and all I wanted to do was play WoW. All I wanted to do was just go hard and grind and just be better. And I think that a big reason for that has nothing to do with the game. He's right. It's got to do with you. It's like you've already done it a million times. You're older now. You've got different priorities. The world is different. Everything is different. You're different. You're a different person than you were, 10 years ago or so. So you can't go back and say, well, why am I not liking the same thing that I used to like? Well, because you're not the same person you used to be. It makes sense.
I was 18. I wanted to play in BlizzCon and win tourneys, and like, I didn't care about anything else, But I think I'm just old. Yeah, just older, It's like, okay, I'm not 18. I'm turning 30 soon, Like, let's fucking...
Sucks.
Let's vibe out. So,
Sucks.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're a new follower, just to give you a TLDR, I played WoW since 2004.
Yeah, you played longer than me.
I competed in tournaments and won a lot of them and got rank 1 a lot. And I was a top player for pretty much my whole time. And I was very competitive and very tryhard and very sweaty. Since New World came out, it's been like, oh, I'm just vibing. I can just fucking role play and chill and dick around, and I've been loving that.
Just having fun.
So if you've been just...
I think that a lot of it does just have to do with age. Like, being a NEET at age 20, it's beautiful. But being a NEET at age 30, it's different. It's the same as, like, if you go, like, if you're doing, like, those streams where you're trying to hook up with, like, girls, you're trying to talk to 18-year-old girls, 19-year-old girls, and you're, like, 20 or 21, like, that's cool, right? Like, a lot of people like watching that kind of content. Nobody thinks it's weird. But, like, if you're doing that and you're, like, 28, 29, 30, and you're still trying to hook up with the same type of girls, that's fucking weird. Like, then it gets weird, because it's like you're supposed to be past that point in your life. You see kind of what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? You guys catching what I'm throwing? You seeing what I'm saying? Yeah, we're good? Okay. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. Is this age shaming? No, it's not age shaming. It's just an expectation. That's all. You do whatever you want to do. People can do whatever they want to do, but that's not going to. You're not going to tell other people that the vibe that gives off isn't different. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna watch this one here.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the overall theme, you reach a certain point when your competitive spirit remains, but your desire to satisfy that competitive spirit is so much farther down the list of priorities in your life. It sounds like to the both of them, they're creating better content for it. For me, I'd come back to WoW after a very, very long hiatus, all the way from TBC until just prior to the release of Shadowlands. And then I played Shadowlands for a little bit because of curiosity, was very confused about what the game had become. Classic came back, played Classic for a while, and realized that because of people like Asmongold, because of people like Zaryu, everything has been done to a degree that I know I'll never desire to achieve. And the reason I don't desire to achieve it is because it's all been there, done that. Read all the guides and be just as good as us, or go play something else, you filthy casual, is the general attitude. And then furthermore, I was pressured into participating in a PvP server, which just made my experience all the worse, because any notion of wanting to spend time progressing and making my way towards the goals that I cared about was being diminished and made to not be fun because of griefers. Yeah, I think everyone's better off if they decide to move on to something else, but no hate if you decide to keep